And we are live. Good
I think it takes
afternoon.
a couple of seconds before it goes live, maybe. Yeah, I think now we're live.
Okay, we're live. Beautiful. All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to those out there in the YouTube universe joining us for today's Are You Smarter Than a Confluence Admin? Episode 2 or challenge number 2 of a new series launched by QuizWiz Master Sajit Nair. We hope to have an entertaining and informative session today. If you're joining for the first time, let us know in the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from, even though we'll get to that soon. And looking forward to being in the driving seat today. Let Sajit sit in the passenger seat just for a little bit and run this quiz. This is a new format. This is our second time presenting, second month, and hopefully we will have on a monthly basis these challenges going through for the Are You Smarter Than series. So with that said, let's get started. Sajid, how many people? I see we have 33 people in. We've got
Yes.
200 and over 280 RSVPs on the QuizWiz ACE chapter. So hopefully we'll see more people coming in as they get that morning, afternoon, or evening coffee, beer, beverage of choice. It's Friday, everybody. So hope that everyone.
Friday evening for India, right?
Yeah.
Like it's 7:30 p.m. People are just logging off and maybe grabbing a beer and just trying to win a certification voucher.
Beer, wine, liquor, whatever your choice.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't recommend it the day that you're taking the exam, but for the prep, whatever gets you through it.
Yes, 100%.
All right. So before we begin, in order to join to participate today, either scan that QR code on your screen or go to menti.com and put in the code so you could be a participant in our competition today. I'm going to do that myself now to make sure that I can join. I won't be taking the quiz along with everybody else, but want to make sure I'm in there. So go ahead and take a moment to join on menti.com or scanning that QR code so you can participate to win some exciting prizes today and hopefully learn something new. And if it's not new, at least it'll reinforce what you already know. Is there a soccer event going on now, Sajit, that we're supposed to know about?
No, in a month we'll start getting some notifications around what are the things that Alex hates. That's going to be a question number one, and then we'll start from there.
we're less than 5 minutes into the stream, and Alex has already gotten dishonorable mentions. So
of course.
All right. So if you're already in the app or on the website, please go ahead and drop a pin where you're joining from today. If you're on a mobile device, you may need to pinch and zoom in to give a proper location for yourself. I'm going to do that now. I'm joining from New York. Sajit, where are you from?
Delhi, India.
Delhi, India. So we're so far, just those on screen are representing two separate continents. Let's see how many other people we get here. I'm having trouble dropping my pin, even though I've just told everybody how to do it.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. But I think if we get the general sense of where people are joining us from, that should be good enough.
Listen, it's not a geography quiz. It's about Confluence administration. So
100%. The good thing is, like, I was just discussing this with Andy a while back, that though it's a Confluence quiz, the gift voucher that we get from the university is not restricted to only Confluence exams. So you can use it for Jira, ACAs, anything that you want, right? So just this like I've been told that we'll get more participation on this, even though we had lesser RSVPs than the Jira one. I'm already seeing 50 plus people join in, and looks like people are going to take advantage of Confluence being the easier out of the two. That's what people have told me. I don't believe that one bit. That's what
It might
people
be the
say that.
easier, but it's definitely the more enjoyable, right? So
Definitely.
let's keep it like that. So just for everybody that's watching, Marie Kent Ree from the university team is reminding everybody that attending this event can be used as an activity to renew your certifications as a live learning event. That is related to the new renewal process for certifications, which is going to be using continuing education credits. There is a post on the Atlassian community in the training and certifications group about this. I recommend everybody to go read up on it to understand how you can extend your current certifications and deal with the new renewal process, which frankly is a lot easier and a lot better and more on target with making sure that those who are certified as an admin actually are continuing to develop those skills.
Yes.
And then, as Sajit was saying, the prizes that are being awarded today, some of them are certificates for our top 10, I believe, Sajit, will get certificates for a exam. So an exam voucher, that exam voucher could be used for any Atlassian exam, whether it's the ACP, an Atlassian Certified Professional, or ACA exam. The ACP, I believe, is $249 USD, and the ACA exam is $100. You could use it for any of those exams. It's a free sitting of an exam, and hopefully you only need it once and you pass. And hopefully today we help you get down that road. All right. So looking good here. We've got a number of people in. Looks like North America is leading right now, but hopefully as people continue to join, we'll see those numbers go up.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this series? Really want to explain what this is. It's not the Quiz Whiz series that those of us have grown to love and adore over the last 2 seasons. This is a completely new series that is a gamified way to step up your Confluence game, to really prove your admin skills as a Confluence admin. It's a fun way to assist you in prepping for your Atlassian Certified Professional exams. This has been developed jointly by Sajit of Quiz Whiz fame, as we've said, and the Atlassian University team. And the Atlassian University team has been extremely instrumental in this, and we want to shout out to Joanna Thurman, who has been a great asset, as well as Marie Kent and the rest of the team, who have really been phenomenal in helping the community expand our reach by introducing training and certification as part of what we are doing. And each question that we have today will feature a reasoning slide. So after the questions are displayed and we see the answer and the correct answer, we're going to move into what the reason is. And the obvious reason for that, no pun intended, is that we want you to be able to learn why certain questions, why answers are correct or incorrect, because it's not just about knowing the answer to that one question, it's about broadening your knowledge in general. And then, of course, you know, anything Atlassian, and certainly anything that's been run by Sajit, really comes with swag and freebies. We're looking forward to being able to give that out, to be on brand with the Quiz Whiz, with the live learning, and with Atlassian in general. As you can see, I am sporting my Quiz Whiz shirt today. I don't know how many are in production, but I am a lucky recipient of at least this one, and we'll be wearing it throughout the series. What is this series not? So the series is not a shortcut to pass ACP. ACP, you've got to learn it to earn it, and it's really important to know that. We'll talk about ways to learn and how to get there, but just getting a high score today does not mean you should run into an exam. You should really be going on to university.atlassian.com. We'll speak about that in a little bit, ensuring that you know what's covered on the exam, making sure that you feel confident with the way the exam is being presented, and then putting in the study sessions, taking your exam, and hopefully becoming a certified professional. It's not a substitute for learning. You're going to learn today. It's going to be fun, but today is not the be all and end all of the certification experience. There is a journey and a path that you need to go down, and hopefully this will prepare you for that. And it's not proof to ask for a better appraisal from your boss, but if you do win and you want to go to your boss and tell them what you've done with your hour today and show your bragging rights, believe me, there are some bosses that will appreciate that, and you should definitely take advantage of it. Sajid, why don't you talk a little bit about prepping for an ACP exam?
Yes. So, as somebody who has struggled his way with a couple of Atlassian certifications, bordering the Atlassian certified expert before it was decommissioned, it took me a while to understand what is the best way to study, which is the last point in this list, and which my good friend Rodney always mentions as the first thing that you got to do is create your own instance and play around. No matter your company has a premium instance, no matter your organization is giving free projects for you to play around, you have to create your own instance, screw things up, fix them, and learn. Same goes for Jira, same goes for Confluence. And of course, now we have a lot of amazing free learning resources from university.atlassian.com, from community, from live learning courses. There are such amazing Atlassian creators who are running courses almost every couple of weeks, specifically about topics, specifically about products, and everything is available post the event as well for you to go back and listen to. And just amazing amount of creators are creating content on YouTube that Andy, like, just why don't you just mention a couple of amazing creators who are creating content on YouTube that
Sure.
you should definitely check out?
Yeah, so on YouTube, we've got, specific to Confluence today, we'll talk about Robert Heen, who is one of the hosts of next month's Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin, together with our king,
Yes.
Bob Wen. He's doing putting out some great content, both in YouTube Shorts and on YouTube long form videos about Confluence. We have Jimmy, who's in the chat today. Jimmy Talks Jira. Anybody that wants to know about not just about Jira, but about the Atlassian community, he does a monthly post, which is a video post of his online article of what happened in the community the past month. There's always a ton of Confluence content there. I'm trying to think of who else off the top of my head. Obviously, Alex Ortiz.
Tech tutorials.
Yep, Tech Tutorials. That's a mouthful. We're not going to test you on how to say that. And he's got content all over YouTube, free training courses. And then him, together with Rodney Nissen and producer Bob Wen, have their weekly series, TJL, The Jira Life, which is about more than just Jira. There's a lot of Confluence talk there as well. And they are a great follow to be able to keep up with what's going on in the Atlassian ecosystem. Those are just a few, and maybe Sajid and I, throughout the rest of the course today, will give out some other shout outs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One last thing. So while we're on this slide, and as Jimmy mentioned in his comment that was displayed, you go to Atlassian.com /Confluence/free to set up a free Confluence space to be able to practice. The admin tools that we'll be talking today are generally available in the free instance as well. And it's a great place to go and make it, break it, learn it, and then earn it by taking your certification. All right, before we begin, so if you're setting up your Mentimeter, please make sure you either use your real name or save a screenshot of the name that you've used. So that way, when we look at the leaderboards, we know who you are. And if you wind up on the podium, we could ensure that we could reach out to you to give you your prizes, or if you're one of the top 10 and you qualify for some free training certificates, we could get those to you as well. So you try and use a moniker that we can recognize, and if you haven't, take a screenshot of it so when we reach out to you, you could show us that that's who you are. All right. So it is time to check are you smarter than a Confluence admin? We're ready to go. Hopefully everyone's got it locked and loaded. One quick housekeeping item. We're going to go into 3 questions to start with to give everybody an idea of the experience of Mentimeter. Those questions are all Confluence related. They're not specifically Confluence administration questions, but they should general knowledge about Confluence that you should know and be able to answer. And then we're going to give 30 seconds per question there. And then when we move into the main 15 questions, we'll be giving 1 minute per question to give you enough time to answer. For Mentimeter, it's important to know that accuracy is more important than speed, but speed is measured as well. If you get the incorrect answer, you get no points. If you get the correct answer, the faster you get that answer, the more points you're rewarded. So read the question. We'll display the question on the screen before we display the possible answers, so you get to know it, and be ready to put in that answer as soon as possible. But don't sacrifice speed for accuracy. It's always more important to be correct than be first. So here we go. Let's do this. Sajid, you ready?
Yes, all set.
Looks like everybody in the comment section is ready for this, and 15 minutes in, and here we go. Question 1 of 18. We've got our players in. 45. All right. We're going to hit the start button on this quiz. Let's see it. When was Confluence released in the cloud? Was it 2002, 2011, 2013, or 2017? Sajid, what was your first experience with cloud? Do you remember?
2017, 2016, 2017.
Yep. Same for me as well. I moved from an organization that was on server to an organization that didn't have Atlassian tools yet, and then we moved into cloud immediately when we launched in 2017.
Nice.
All right.
Ooh. Wow.
Interesting. Wow, that spread is not what I expected. So let's see the reasonings here. So 2002 was when Jira 1.0 launched, and Jira was Atlassian's first product to ship, so it was pre-Confluence even.
Mm-hmm.
Answer B was correct. Atlassian shipped the first cloud versions of both Confluence and Jira in 2011. Answer C, 2013 was when Jira Service Desk was launched. And yes. 2017 is not when Trello was founded, but it's when Trello joined the Atlassian family. So
that's right.
If you got it right, great. If you didn't, you still got a chance to earn points. So let's keep going.
So people who are just joining in, you'll see the code up on top. You can always go to mentimeter.com and enter the code 83464371 that you are seeing up on top of the screen.
Here we go, Sujit. This is your question.
All right. Which of the following is a core feature of Confluence? Issue tracking, documentation and collaboration, source code management, or customer relationship management? Which is a core feature of Confluence? Not what you might use it for, but the core feature.
So, Sajit, Euro Cup or Olympics? Which is a better competition to watch? Football.
Football, Euro Cup.
Euro Cup. Yeah. Well, U.S. women's team is still undefeated, so sorry, Zambia, but okay. That is amazing.
Nice.
Everyone got the answer right. So again, what will differentiate those the correct from incorrect? The correct from the correct is how quickly you got it. Let's take a look. So yeah, issue tracking is a feature that is provided by Jira, not Confluence. Although you can include Jira in Confluence, and maybe we'll see something about that later. Mm-hmm. Correct. Confluence is known for its wiki-style documentation, allowing users to create, share, and collaborate in documents without having to know wiki markup language, which is the most important part of Confluence. Bitbucket is where we have our code repositories, and Confluence is not a CRM tool, although there are marketplace partners who have CRM for Confluence that will allow you to build a CRM on top of Confluence, but is not intended to be a CRM tool. All right, that was awesome. First time I've seen everybody get the one question right. 51 players. Okay, we're growing. 52 strong. Here we go. Which Confluence feature helps with next-gen brainstorming to capture free-flowing visual thoughts and collaborate on ideas with the team? Is it whiteboards, integrations, spaces, or inline comments? Wow, fast and furious coming in here. So, G, what Olympic sport is the one that you're most intrigued or interested in watching or seeing the results of?
So something that I've never played myself, but I saw a documentary after that. I'm fascinated with the sport is curling.
Curling.
It doesn't exist in India at all, but every time I see it, I saw a documentary about it. And after that, I was like, it's such a fascinating game to just sit there and watch people scrub the ice. And it's just fascinating for me.
All right. Our answers are in. So 40 got whiteboards correct. integration, space, inline comments are incorrect. Let's see why. So, whiteboards provide a visual collaboration tool for brainstorming, planning, and organizing ideas in a flexible and interactive space. However, integrations is not the correct answer for our previous question. It's not a next-gen tool to allow you to visualize work. Spaces are where we organize our work, but it doesn't allow us to visualize. And inline comments are a way of collaborating, but not a way of working. So let's see where we're at so far with our quiz leaderboard. So pretty close at the top here. Earthman, Ted. Oh,
Ajay. Ooh.
I had to wait for it to update. I apologize.
Yeah.
Ajay, good. Great. Pragsha is our fastest so far.
Yeah, nice.
This is
what's most interesting, Andy, is I don't see anybody who made it to Jira top 10 being here in the Confluence top 10.
That says a lot about those who look down upon Confluence and think that Jira is superior. If you know Jira, you should for sure know Confluence. But listen, this is the leaderboard after 3 questions. We've got 15 more questions to go. So everyone's got a chance. You're still in it. Keep answering those questions. Stay live with us, and let's move forward. Like we said, it's now time to get serious. We gave 30 seconds per question before. We're giving you 60 seconds now. These questions are going to be more in the style of the questions you would see on a ACP or ACA exam, but not exactly that way. We're testing you for your knowledge. Sajit's going to take us away with the next question. Here we go.
All right, we've got 54 players now. Let's jump
Got to be in it to win it.
All right, you just published the page. What does pressing C on your keyboard do? Does it create a comment? Does it create a child page? Does it couple the published page, or it closes the published page? All
right, 25 in, so we're halfway there.
Say 2.
Yeah, so because the Tour de France was last month, in the United States, you can't really get all the Olympic sports without having a Peacock, which is NBC's streaming platform subscription. But because Tour de France went right into the Olympics, I bought the subscription for 2 months. So on our iPad, we'll be watching and hopefully enjoy some of the sports. Yeah, for me, it's the Summer Olympics. I enjoy the Winter Olympics more. So like curling, obviously, something the Canadians. It's a Canadian sport, something they can be proud of. The Summer Olympics is, the track and field to me is just amazing. Like to see what the human body can do, right? Like just the speed. And here we go. Speaking about speed, 60 seconds goes real quick. So a tie for commenting on page and creating a child page, copies the published page, or close the published page. Sajid, take us through the answers.
All right. So let's look at why is C the keyboard shortcut. So M is used to create a comment. If you press C, then we see that's the most voted ones, right? The M button and the C button. So if you press M, that's how you create a comment in Confluence. And if you press C, that's how you can create content underneath a page that you have already created. The other option, of course, are the ellipsis menu from where you can copy a page, or there's actually no shortcut to close a specific page. You can simply navigate away from one place if you're editing something, and then you can just close the page automatically.
All right. Here we go, loading up our players. We still got more than 50 in it. I'd love to see that number grow, but hopefully nobody's starting to go out already. All right, Kara only has 2 space permissions, view and add pages. Add pages, whiteboards, database, and smart links, excuse me. What can she definitely do? Again, based on the permissions she has, what can she definitely do? This is one that if you're taking an ACP or an ACP exam on Confluence or the ACP 520, important to know the way that space permissions work within Confluence to ensure that users have the proper permissions to execute that which you're asking them to do.
Yeah. Are you somebody who's using a lot of space permissions in your own instance, Andy, on your personal spaces?
We're so in the personal spaces, yes, but in our public spaces, we really try and maintain transparency throughout the organization. So unless it's
Nice.
like a top secret project, everyone has permissions. Here you go. Wow. Wow, this is an amazing spread here. So edit
Nice.
unrestricted pages being the answer. Let's see why that is. So, since Kara has the permissions to edit pages, she can also edit pages as long as they do not have edit restrictions. And that's the important thing to know because of this combination of view and edit. Delete own, answer A is incorrect because that's a separate permission. That within the permission scheme, there's about, I think, 12 permissions you could possibly have on as a user within a space. Delete own is one of them. Add comments, again, also a separate permission. And add attachments, another separate permission. So the permissions that we had in the question are specifically limited her to being able to edit pages because she could add that. All right, moving on. Let's see. Still at 50. Okay, if I see that 50 number throughout, I'm going to be happy. Let's launch this next question for everybody.
All right. Until today, Dante could create new pages in particular space, but now he can't. Which feature will help you troubleshoot? The space report, automation rules, audit log, or analytics?
Yeah, so of these tools, Sajid, which one is the most valuable to you? It's not about this question in particular, but these four tools, which one do you think you use the most often?
I think, honestly, I think none of these.
Oh, really?
Personally. Yeah. So, as you mentioned, I don't look at, I don't have a lot of automations on my Confluence. It's fairly open. It's literally an open book for everybody to come in and look at our documentation. Audit log we might have used at some points just to figure some stuff out, who worked on what change and things like that. But other than that, for me personally, like Confluence is a way to just share and brainstorm ideas. Like Whiteboard is our recent hook. Everything we want to just create it in whiteboards.
All right, let's see the answer.
What about you?
Oh, for me, it's analytics. I'll talk about that between our next one. I'll talk about why. But yeah, great showing here. 31 people, vast majority got the answer right, the audit log. So, Sajid, take us through why. Let's see. Give me a moment. I'm trying to find my navigation here.
All right. So that is correct. C, the audit log records all significant actions, and that's why it's your best bet when you want to look at what could have gone wrong. Automation rules, it just automates routine tasks, right? So it will probably not help you. Space report does provide statistics and insights, but it does not contain any information around permission changes. So it does not help you. Analytics, on the other hand, tells you how users interact with content, how they view pages, how much time they spend on pages, or what is the engagement looking like. But still, would not tell you permissions of a specific individual on the page. So that's why audit log is your best bet.
There you go. So hopefully everyone's on their way to certification because we saw a lot of correct answers there. So
yeah,
47, 46. Come on, push it over 50 people. Get in. All right. Well, can't force it, but if you're playing, you're winning. That's the way it works. All right, here we go. Users should be able to create Jira issues directly from a Confluence page. Identify one element that must be configured. So we sort of touched on this a little bit earlier, talk about how Jira can be used within Confluence. How do you make that happen? So yeah, Sajid, on the earlier question, I use analytics to try and drive adoption within the organization. We publish the analytics reports. We're on premium, so we have access to space and site analytics within Confluence, and we use that to drive adoption, to highlight people who are major contributors. Sometimes like we'll just go and send an Amazon gift card to somebody and be like, nice. Last month you contributed 25 edits to pages. We love the fact that you're going in to the site, into our instance and making sure that it stays up to date and really try and drive some competition there. I even have a slide that we used to include in our board of directors deck, which we don't include anymore, which showed as we were growing, how many pages are being created, what's going on in the spaces to understand the value of this technology within our organization.
Nice. So people who are just joining in, I've given the link on how you can join in the game right now as well. You just got to go to mentimeter.com and enter the code that you're seeing up on top on the screen.
All right, so our answers are in. Application link, which is correct. Again, the majority got it right. So we've got a lot of good Confluence users and admins in here. Let's go look and see the reasoning why. So first, talk about the correct answer. An application link is required to allow seamless integration between Confluence and Jira, which enable features like creating Jira issues directly from Confluence pages, which again gets rid of all this context switching, which we hate doing all day, switching between screens or between tabs or pages. A was incorrect because the public link is typically a URL that is accessed from anywhere on the internet, and that allows you to take a piece of your Confluence and display it publicly. Smart links enhance the way that links are presented within Confluence pages. And you could have a Jira issue, which isn't a smart link, but you first need to have that application link configured to allow that to happen. Yeah. And then the application navigator is that application switcher that you see on the side, the nine squares at the top right of your top left, of your screen that allows you to switch between applications in your instance, but does not necessarily does not connect your Jira and Confluence together. So let's tee up the next question here. Okay, 47, 48. All right, here we go, Sajit. 50.
All right, let's look at the question. You want only certain pages of a space and not the space itself to be viewable by anyone on the internet. What must you enable? Anonymous access, public links, user space permission, or global permission? How would you view only specific pages on a space?
So on an ACP exam, these two questions would probably not be one after the other because one had a little bit to do with the other, even though on the ACP, you're not going to see the reasons or the answers. But if you think back to some of the reasoning on the past question, that may be a hint towards this one.
Yes, that's a good guess. Good hint, I would say, Andy.
Any trips planned this summer, Sajit? Going anywhere?
I actually am going next week, so I will be out entire next week. We'll talk more about that later in the week. The next quiz is officially the first time ever in 3 years that I'm not going to be in the driver's seat of a quiz being hosted by QuizWiz. So no pressure on the Bobs and the Robs. But yeah, so I'm going to take some time off. What about you?
Gonna have some time off as well. Let's look at the answer, and I'll give you a little bit more detail on that. So yeah, 15 people got it right. So first one in a while where the majority did not get the correct answer, which means that our scoreboard might be shifting a little bit. Public links are what you need to enable to allow people to see the space by anyone outside of your organization. Let's take a look at the reasons here. So again, B was the correct answer. You once you've enabled public links, you could then share out specific pages via a link, so people will have the opportunity to see into that specific space or page that you've allowed. Anonymous access allow people who are not logged into Confluence to view the space, right? But and not just certain pages. So anonymous access is not public links. The two of them are very similar, but have different experiences for those that are coming into your space. User space permissions are not specific. That's not what's going to allow public access to your space. And then global permissions apply to broader settings and access control features across the system and not to specific pages. So if you have content, a lot of marketing teams use this to share out their marketing slicks and things that have to do with their brand. They'll make that a publicly accessible link from within their Confluence, so they don't have to then publish that out on a separate web page or on their website. Excuse me. All right, teeing it up, 48, 49. Okay, we'll start it at 49. Hopefully 50th joins.
Alpha space is archived while delta space is deleted. What is true only about alpha? It appears in the main space directory. It can be restored. Its content is accessible via links, and its content appears in activity streams.
Yeah, this is an important one for people to really understand the difference between deleting a space and archiving. And really best practice is, unless you have to absolutely save space in your instance, archive first. Always archive first. You could always then delete from the archive.
Yeah.
But man, restoring from delete is not a fun thing to do. Yeah, so Sujit, you asked me. We're going away for 10 days. It's our 25th wedding anniversary this summer. Are going with our 5 children to Breckenridge, Colorado. So if anybody in the chat has any good ideas for Breckenridge, Colorado, we're going late August. Looking forward to it. Just getting away. Got a beautiful Airbnb. Hopefully with enough bedrooms that we don't all have to be on top of each other, but we can enjoy each other's company.
Nice.
All right. Wow.
Ooh.
This is an interesting one. I did not think that we would have this spread across. Okay. So this is something we got to dive into the reasons for.
For sure. Definitely on the option B, why that is not the correct answer. 36 people thought that 36 option B is the right one.
Yes.
So it's not, because a space admin or Confluence admin can restore an archived space, and a Confluence admin can restore a deleted space unless it has been permanently deleted. So it's possible for both. The correct answer is C, which I think 5 or 6 people gave the right answer.
5.
Wow. When you archive a space, you can view the content as usual by following a link, what Andy was earlier mentioning. But it does belong to an archive space. Deleting a space, however, removes all of its content unless the space is restored. That is the reason you should always archive and not delete. Did you learn it the hard way, Andy?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I probably have learned this one the hard way. Yeah.
Sure.
What I really learned the hard way is the fact that archiving doesn't take out the ability to if you have a link to it, you'll still find that information. I had meant to get rid of something, and then people were still pulling it up because I had archived instead of deleted it. So, or changed its permissions before archiving. All right, here we go. Sajid, number 10 of 18. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go.
You want users?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Andy.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead. You want users to be able to view content in the alpha space without logging in. Identify one location you might need to update. So the options that you have are global permissions, default space permissions, group membership, and authentication policies.
Yeah, and this is an area that people who want to sit in the ACP 520 should really study up on, because I believe that there's a lot of confusion around 3 or the 4 of these and what they actually mean and how they work together or separately. I won't say which one of the 4 is not, but there's a lot. Having taken the ACP 520 myself and failed, which I will admit to, without studying, which is another thing. Make sure, no matter how confident you are, study. That's the most important thing. These areas were really heavily focused on within that exam.
Nice.
All right.
Broad spread.
Yeah, but again, back to getting the correct answer being the number 1 answer. So hopefully we'll see that reflected in our scores coming up soon.
Yeah. All right. So again, B, I think, is the most incorrect number here. So let's dig deeper into why B is not the right answer. While default space permission does determine the baseline permission for new spaces, you need to update the permission of the alpha space or ensure global settings allow for such access. That's the reason B is not the correct answer. And while A is, you may need to update the global permissions to allow anonymous access anywhere in Confluence if it's not already enabled. And then it also needs to be enabled for a particular space. That's why A is correct. That's why 19 people got it right. Just one more than the option B.
All right. So again, everyone's starting to see the areas you have to focus on to pass these exams. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard and see where we're at, Sujit. Give people an idea of where they are and get ready to level set before we move forward.
Yes. I'm seeing Rodney's name right up there.
Oh boy.
Arlene is there.
Paul O'Shaughnessy.
Nice.
Paul O'Shaughnessy. So we've got an Irishman in our midst. Let's figure out who that might be. All right.
Nice.
Let's move on. Are you ready, everybody? So 53, yes. you're looking at several prior versions of an attachment on a page. What can you do with the previous version? So one of the things that Confluence does keep versioning of attachments that you have on a page. A lot of people, this might be for a lot of people what drives the slow loading of pages. If you have too many attachments, you keep copying over a page and forgetting that there's attachments on that page, or adding new attachments because you're updating a report that you put in that page. So you're looking at several prior versions of an attachment on a page. What can you do with the previous version? Can you restore it, rename it, delete it, or add a label? And I think it's something that is underused by most admins, which is actually interacting with your attachments. They're not just a asset that sits on the page. There's more that you could do with them to allow users to interact with them, and important to know.
Definitely.
And look at Rodney. You're not an OG Confluence admin unless you failed the ACP. That's right.
100%.
Yes, we have another one that stumped everybody. So the answer is delete it. Why can't you restore it? So let's see the reason behind it. So A, which was the number one answer, restore it, is you can download previous versions, but you can't revert to a previous version. And that's important to know. The correct answer,
I think what people might have missed there, Andy, is the word attachment. People kept thinking about previous version of a page. People might have missed the word attachment.
And the correct answer is, in Confluence, you do have the option to delete specific versions of attachment, allowing you to manage this version history and potentially conserve space, which we were speaking about, that page load time. You just select delete next to the version you want to delete. And there's a lot of ways to manage attachments. There's an attachments macro in Confluence. So you can see sometimes on pages that we have, that we know we have a lot of attachments on, we include the attachments macro so we can see just how many attachments are there and not have to go into the back end of the page and look at the page administration to know about the attachments. But yeah, that is a correct answer. And labels are applied to current version of attachment, but not to previous versions of attachment. So, yep. All right, that may have just shook up our leaderboard.
Oh yeah.
Sajid, are you ready? 50 players, 51 are here for you.
All right, let's look at the question. What is automatically restored along with the restored page? Its page history, its location in the content tree, its child pages, or its relationship to its parent page. What gets restored automatically along with the restored page? Which out of these four?
I've seen a lot of questions on community.atlassian.com related to this, that someone restored a page assuming it would do something, but it doesn't do it. So the question here is, what does it do, restoring? Yeah.
Rodney says, my Confluence pet peeve is when people confuse Confluence for YouTube.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. 46 people have already answered. What gets restored automatically? Five more seconds.
I'm really hoping that we get a good turnout on this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's again a spread, but it's so close. It's 15 each for A and D, but it's the right answer as well. It's page history. The page history gets automatically restored with a restored page. So the page history is automatically restored because it contains all the record of the changes made to that page. But if you look at D, which was a restored page, child page, if a restored page was a child page, its relationship to the parent must be manually re-established. It will not automatically come in the tree itself. It will not, become like where it was. Only its history comes back. Everything else you might have to do again all over. So yeah, that was, I think, something that confused people again, Andy.
Yep. Yeah, again, and people are starting to learn what you have to study to be able to pass these exams. Yeah. And this was a great question because B and D were really related answers when you think about it. And that's one of the ways to take the exam, is to look and see if there's only one correct answer and there are two that are very, very related. That usually means that neither of those is the correct answer. So
nice. Yeah.
All right, 13, lucky number 13. Here we go. I'm on the odds. You need to change the way that the last updated information is displayed in the recently updated dashboard macro. Which setting controls this? This is, again, another one, I think, that under the hood of Confluence settings, that's an area that a lot of people don't go into on a daily basis, and it's something that's important to know to pass these exams. It might be you set it and forget it sometimes, and the point, you can't forget it. You have to know how to get there and what to do. So
100%.
Gee, what's on your today current playlist? What are you listening to now?
I am right now on a full Kendrick Lamar recap, going back to the album number 1. I've started from Good Kid, Mad City, and I'm going to the end. I'm like going DNA. I've been, every time I've done this, I get stuck at DNA and then I restart. But sorry, I'm not saying the album name on YouTube, but yeah, I get stuck on that album and go back. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Woo! Look at this. Wow.
3 people. Oh my gosh.
I don't think that in the jury exam we saw one that was like this, where there were so few people that got the right answer correct. So, just telling you that there is something you need to know about Confluence. It's not just what you see is what you get, people. So yeah, date format. I'm glad that I think this is the first time we had 3 and not a 4th selected, though. So that's interesting. So let's take a look at this. So why is B correct? Because the recently updated dashboard macro displays only the dates. So it's just the date format setting. The time format would not be influenced here. C, which is what most people selected, was it's a setting that controls how both the date and time are displayed throughout Confluence. That is true, but because this macro does not utilize that, that's not where you would make the change, or that not where the change would be presented to you. So very, very interesting spread here. And then D, the setting pertains to how long numbers are formatted. It's just basically the number format within Confluence. And again, these formatting options are there because, I'm in the US, Sajid's in India. In different countries and different places throughout the world, dates and times are presented differently. I remember my first trip to Europe, when I was trying to figure out the way that the dates were, and the fact that we in the US do month, day, and year, and there they do day, month, year, and I was like, I'm here in the wintertime. How come it looks like it's the summer based on this date, and switching it around? So important to know the localization settings. All right, Sajid, we still got, I'm so happy to see that people are sticking with it. This is great.
51 players.
Here we go.
All right, let's look at the question. Users see the text enroll in benefits now on top of pages in the HR space. That text isn't visible when editing. Which space settings control this? Page layout, themes, PDF export, or space details?
So, Sajid, I'm not surprised to hear that you're going through the Kendrick Lamar collection again, because anybody that pays any attention to QuizWiz knows that I think if anybody were to look at the 2 seasons of QuizWiz, Kendrick Lamar might have been the most popular answer, provided not necessarily popular correct answer, but popular answer that might have been in a QuizWiz. So that's my
Kendrick Lamar. I think The Weeknd also. I later on realized that I just put in way too many Weeknd questions in there. Not because of the music, but probably because we were doing the quizzes somewhere around the weekend, or I was preparing the questions during the weekend. But yeah, it's crazy. What's on your playlist, Andy?
I currently am going through the entire Harry Potter soundtrack collection, listening to the movies as they go, and it's interesting because there were multiple composers that were part of that collection. So let's take a look. Page layout.
Wow. Page layout. Again, one correct answer more than space details. So A and D is basically where the conflict existed between people. All right, let's look at why A was the correct answer. So A is correct because under page layout and space, look and feel settings, admin can add header and footer. That is visible on every page when viewing, but not editing. So if you edit a page, you will not see that enroll in benefits now option. But while viewing, you will still do that. Page layout options are not found under space details. So that is not the correct answer that we are looking for as well. But yeah, really, really close again. B, A, and D. So people,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, good job.
All right, we're getting down the stretch here, the home
Last
stretch.
3 questions.
3 questions to go, everybody. Here we go. Stick with us. Hugo is not able to delete a page he created, even though he has the delete own permission. Identify a possible reason. Is it the page has comments? The page has inline comments? The page has attachments? Or the page has edit restrictions? Again, he has delete own permission, and it's a page that he created. Why can't he delete it? Yeah, so the Harry Potter scores to me were like very interesting because like it started with John Williams, and John Williams being like, you know, the OG of all scores, him and Hans Zimmer. And then I've never really looked up on why they switched away from him. I don't know if he got involved in other projects and he couldn't continue it. I think it's interesting that the other composers were able to use the themes that he created and build on it, because a lot of times there's
you could hear the similarities.
John Williams. But I recently just binge watched the entire series because, like I said, I got this Peacock subscription just for 2 months, and it's available on Peacock. So I literally went 1 through 7, or really 8, because there are 8 films. So now I'm just listening to the films in the music itself. Here you go. Great bounce back. We see like these, like, you know, it's interesting spread across. So yeah, the page has edit restrictions is the answer, and let's see why. So if a page has edit restrictions, and it's on page level restrictions, that will override his own individual permissions. So deletion is considered a form of editing. Since there's edit restrictions on the page, you cannot delete it, even though he was the one who created the page. And he has create own and delete own. The page itself has a restriction that prevents his own from being inherited. Comments do not restrict the ability to delete a page. So attachments don't restrict it either, and inline comments don't. So the presence of comments, inline comments, or attachments on a page do not prevent it from being deleted. Those don't have their own permissions that would roll up to a page level to prevent deletion.
Nice.
All right. Getting close on time here. 52 people still in it. I love it.
You are editing some pages in Confluence. How can Atlassian Intelligence help you? Atlassian Intelligence can update page restrictions, replace image, reorganizing the layout, or summarize inline comments.
Yeah, so without giving away the answer, have you utilized Atlassian Intelligence for this purpose?
For the right answer of this question, I have.
Yeah, as have I. And again, you know, Atlassian Intelligence being an add-on to Confluence, not an add-on, it's native in the experience. But, you know, I think this is a newer question. We may see some spread of answers here.
I'm kind of betting on that most people will get the answer right. Honestly, I'm surprised. I thought, like, with all the information flowing around Atlassian Intelligence, I thought people will actually answer it before we even reach the timer. Yeah. But let's see.
And Carl, thank you for the explanation as to why the different composers were chosen. Thank you. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. People got the answer right. Summarize inline comments.
Let's take a look at why.
All right. You can summarize in Atlassian Intelligence can summarize inline comments by analyzing the context of the comments to provide a concise view. You don't have to read through all of them. You can just ask Atlassian Intelligence to do that. It saves time, most importantly, and you don't have to read each one of them individually. Currently, reorganizing page layout is beyond the capability of Atlassian Intelligence. But team, if you are listening, this is something that people are thinking that you can already do. So maybe you might as well do it.
Right.
But how amazing would it be if you could just tell the layout, Atlassian Intelligence, hey, change the layout of my page for me.
Yeah. We messed up the table of contents macro a little bit, though.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Start quiz now. 2 more questions left. Users see too many template options when creating a new page. I know so many people are complaining about this. How can you streamline this list? Can you A, add customized templates, B, disable unused blueprints, C, archive inactive pages, or D, reduce the number of shortcut links. Yeah, I just mentioned the table of contents macros, Sajid, and one of the things that still bothers me to today is the fact that in cloud, it is not a floating table of contents. Server, it was beautiful. You could scroll down a page that was like a 20-minute read and the table of contents will stay with you. But how many times do I have to scroll to the top of the page again to click on the table of contents, take me to another area in the page?
Yeah.
I don't know when the cloud team is going to get to it, but every time I'm in the New York City office and I see one of the team members from the product team for Confluence Cloud, I say, floating table of contents macro, please.
Nice. Carl mentions that I make sure to demonstrate this when teaching our Confluence bootcamp class as well.
Yep.
Nice.
Here we go. This is well done, everybody out there in the interwebs. Nice. Disable unused blueprints. Let's talk about it. So you can disable infrequently used global blueprints. So global blueprints is where the templates that are presented to users are stored. If you disable them, the users will not be presented with those templates. Adding more templates, will only increase the number that you have. Archiving inactive pages helps with pages, but does not help with the number of templates that are presented. And reducing the number of shortcut links, again, just declutters that sidebar, but has nothing to do with the page creation experience and the number of templates you're presented with as options. All right, we're moving into the final question here. We've still got more than 50 people with us. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us and having to listen to me. Sajid is beautiful to listen to, but me, I know my wife tells me an hour talking to each other, a little bit too long. Here we go.
All right, let's do the final question, guys. All Confluence users should see this message. Enroll in a new healthcare program in 2 weeks and should include a link. Which feature would you use? A public link, an application link, a banner feature, or a sidebar shortcut? What would you use if you want to include a link and show a message? Enroll in a new healthcare program in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is what enables this is, I think, one of the underused features that we have in Confluence. It's only about a year and a half old, I think, that this is available in Confluence, and I think that it's something that could get a little bit more love. So we'll see.
Nice. 14 seconds. Application link, public link, banner feature, sidebar shortcut. Last chance to take the top spot. Let's see who gets it.
And the answer is yes.
Banner feature.
This is like getting to that last one of the gymnastics disciplines and like scoring a high. This could push people onto the podium right now.
Oh yeah. The reasoning is banner is a good way to instruct or inform Confluence about important information, and most importantly, it can include an embedded link. And the others, you can see public links enable specific pages to be accessible outside by people on the internet. Application links are used for integration between Confluence and other websites. And sidebar shortcuts would only be visible on a single space and not include any accompanying text. That's the reason a banner is your best option when you want to include a link and share information with the team.
And that brings us to the leaderboard. Thank you, everybody. It's 58 minutes in. Appreciate everyone sticking around. A couple more slides. Let's first see who our winners are.
Ooh.
Wow. That is amazing. Paul O'Shaughnessy, congratulations to you for winning the Are You Smarter Than a Confluence Admin first edition, second challenge in the Are You Smarter Than series. Let's see what he's won.
Nice. I'm also just like, before you go there, Andy, just if you could go back to the slide, I'm just so happy to see so many new people in this list.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Mahima there. I'm glad to see Ajay there. Sujit. Brilliant. Good job, guys. Good job.
Yes.
The Jira guy can maybe also be called the Confluence guy, by the way, going forward. We'll just have to see that on the Jira Live. But congratulations, Paul. Yeah. And now let's see what Paul and everybody else in this list gets.
All right. So our top three, the podium today, will get gift cards from the Atlassian community. First place wins $100, Paul O'Shaughnessy. Second place, $50. I'm assuming that's Rodney Nissen. Someone else could have put the name Rodney in there. And third place winning a $25 gift card. But the top 10, as we stated earlier, receive free certification vouchers from Atlassian University. Those vouchers are good for any exam. So you could use it for a Jira exam, a Confluence exam. If there's ever a Bitbucket exam, you can use it for an ACA or an ACP. And a special digital badge, a name and honor roll in the online community, which again is a way to show off to everybody else in the community that you are one of the top people and you've participated in Are You Smarter Than? Love to see a word cloud form here. So we've got, prompting everybody here in Mentimeter for some responses. I'm trying to go to it on mine here. So take a minute.
John says, I am Rodney. We are all Rodneys. I thought we were saying we are all the Jira guys and gals. But now we've come to we are all Rodney as well.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. I know we're a minute or so over. We're going to go out, finish up here. So it's been challenging. It's been fun, amazing, awesome, informative, entertaining. Nice. I guess that might be someone who did very well at the beginning and tanked at the end. Who knows? Too old to quick answer. Okay. We'll take that into account.
Nice.
So again, thank you everybody for contributing to the word cloud. And then just a couple things to wrap up. Please, as mentioned earlier, support us by subscribing to the YouTube channel, which you're on today. You'll be prompted when there's new content coming out from the QuizWiz. There's also a QuizWiz chapter, ace.atlassian.com/quiz-wiz. You could join and be informed whenever a new one of the QuizWiz or the Are You Smarter Than series is published and ready. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. And we hope to see you next month, the 23rd of August, where King Bob went and Radio Bob Heen, who is offline right now and could not participate today, which we're probably lucky with, otherwise he may be running away with prizes. We'll be hosting challenge number 3, Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin? So you got a month to prepare. Thank you, everybody, for your participation today. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this and for making it enjoyable and fun. We really appreciate you taking the time, whether it's morning, evening, or the afternoon for you, wherever you are, to be part of this process and be part of this team. Sajit, I want to say thank you very much for all the effort you've put into this. The quiz was 100% built by Sajit and executed by him. So thank you for that dedication to the community. And again, have a great weekend, everybody, wherever you are.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Andy.
See you next time.